The building had been abandoned for a long, long time. You describe people as being on their knees, and sometimes you describe buildings as being on their ankles. It's a physical thing, of course, but it's also a kind of a lost cause. So the building had gone into decay. Part of it had been occupied by the Irish Army, so there was a section that was probably in better condition, but a lot of it had been empty, and literally there were trees growing out of it, particularly in the roof, which was remarkable. And I remember there was some kind of crazy statistic, like 100 or more big, articulated lorries taking lorry loads of earth and vegetation that came out of the roof. So that, in its sense, it was like a jungle. At the time, while there was certainly a recognition of architecture and architectural heritage and all of those things, it wasn't necessarily as widely accepted as it is now. There was no legislation, there was no kind of legal protection for buildings, so it was very much at the kind of whim, you could say, of the owner or the local authority, what future it might have had. I do remember it was opened by Mary Robinson, and I think Maura was probably behind a group, and Mary Robinson said, "Where is the architect here?" So she would have been very conscious, I think, Mary Robinson, culturally, of the importance of architecture and the architect, and then obviously aware that it was quite a thing that this was a female architect who'd been involved. King House was carried out in two main phases, and the first was the external works, making it secure, safe, stabilised. So the roof, the walls, the windows, it's protected from the weather, it's not going to collapse. And that was all done by direct labour through Roscommon County Council. King House was the first time that a project in Ireland had got funding from the John Paul Getty Foundation. And I suspect Maura became aware of the John Paul Getty Foundation when she was studying in York in architectural conservation. And she felt it was worth maybe considering making an application for funding. That's not an insignificant thing. That's not a small application. It's a hugely onerous piece of work that you have to build up a case. So you do an enormous amount of work to get a grant to allow you to do more work, to research. But it's all towards trying to add to knowledge, but also to make that project you're working on as well informed as it can be. So at the core of this project, and really going back maybe to the early days in the beginning, a very remarkable and important aspect has been this sense of shared responsibility and a collective endeavour between the architects, but also the design team, the engineers, the services engineers and the building engineers working collectively. And then with a client, with Roscommon County Council, who came together to support the project and encourage, makes it a very, very significant achievement. My own view is that the more a project is the result of a collaboration, a sense of vision, and definitely a sense of ambition and encouragement, it can achieve so much. And I think King House really exemplifies that to a large degree, that there was a spirit of collaboration. There was a sense perhaps of going slightly into the unknown as well, because this really was ambitious. Not everybody necessarily thought it was the right idea or the best use of public monies, you can imagine. And it possibly seemed vast, the idea of transforming this ruin, this big, large, overgrown ruin in the middle of the town. And I suspect for Donald Connolly, for Vincent Brennan, for the engineers, for the builders, for all involved. You know, you leave a bit of yourself in these projects. Hopefully it'll have many lives ahead as well. Nobody can do anything on their own. Nobody is fully responsible for anything on their own in a building project. But when you have the coming together of, as I say, an ambition or an attitude or a belief or that sense of responsibility, and I do think everybody had that. They had a responsibility to deliver it to the best that could be done. And that pushes. I have to say it still remains a point for us that the projects that work the best are the ones where the client is encouraging you and pushing you and has the same ambition, sometimes more. Then they'll pull everything out of you.
Fáilte go cúiltír, sra a thugann ó chúntaigh go chúntaigh sin le léargas ar le a fháil ar an méid is spragan muintir an chúntaigh.
This particular part, North Roscommon, you know, there's a kind of just the whole general area has a musical accent, and we know the musical dialect, and it's driving, and it's quite intricate in places and sophisticated.
Like yourself, no doubt.
My name is Rona McGrath. I'm the Arts Officer with Roscommon County Council. This particular project has been initiated by the Arts Office last year in recognition of the fabulous Steinway grand piano that we have here at King House. The grand piano was purchased in 1998 by Roscommon County Council with the Arts Council of Ireland. So it's one of, I think, about 4 grand Steinway pianos in the country that was purchased under this scheme. So it's just amazing to have this in Boyle, in King House.
Boyle Arts Festival is one of the premier arts festivals in Ireland, attracting thousands of visitors from all over the world. Boyle Arts Festival presents a culturally enriching 10-day schedule of music and events. King House is the central hub of the festival, attracting a diverse audience of thousands from far and wide. The Boyle Civic Art Collection is a nationally recognised prominent civic art collection with over 300 pieces of art from contemporary Irish artists. The majority of works were acquired using the sales commission earned at Boyle Arts Festival exhibitions since 1990. The collection is maintained by the trustees for the people of Boyle, and thanks to Roscommon County Council, is housed mainly in King House, where the collection is managed for exhibition and storage. King House is now the main tourist attraction in Boyle, attracting pre-booked tours and visitors from all over the world. Visitors can relive 400 years of local history in this Georgian mansion, where original architectural elements have been sensitively restored throughout this once grand home. King House plays host to a full and varied year-round programme of events, including recitals, concerts, book launches, meetings, craft fairs, wedding ceremonies, and cultural exhibitions to include the Devil's Own exhibition, dedicated to the memory of the Connaught Rangers. Former President Mary McAleese's donated state gifts, the Boyle to Boulevard exhibition, and the Hidden Gem exhibition.